It will never seem like one of those crimes that you suspect or even remotely feel that something wrong will happen here. The term gaslighting was derived from a lamp burning from a gas pipeline. In ancient times, a man used this technique to drive his wife crazy. We study human behavior, thought, and action in psychology, but dark psychology is used to manipulate, influence, and confuse you. After watching this video, you will understand how the government, family, and organizations control you, so you follow their instructions and live your life according to their principles. Take a different route to your defense than immediately, because you may give the hunter a chance to escape and make another move, which will cause your decision not to be as effective, and you may not get the desired results. Don't hold back from doing the right thing for yourself out of fear of what people will say. You don't have to prove anything to anyone except yourself. If criminals are present in the cyber world who have cheated your money, then involve the police and related officers for help. Apart from this, many software and applications can recognize faces on popular social media sites like Instagram and Facebook. It is a fact that emotional pains rarely heal. If you don't do anything about it, these pains can form a nasty scab like other wounds, making the memory as painful for you as it was when it was happening to you. When you think of dark psychology, the only thing that comes to your mind is that someone committed a crime. But in reality, it also includes many things that we may not consider appropriate but have become socially acceptable. We see these dark psychology activities in our homes, schools, offices, and online. For clarity, let us look at some real-life case studies. Love is truly a beautiful thing. When you enter a relationship with someone, you expect that person to love and care for you. You will make each other feel good and secure by supporting each other emotionally. This is how the relationship in this story started. A single mother who worked hard to care for and raise her son, whose husband had died, met this handsome guy who was just the kind of partner she wanted. He was beautiful and intelligent, and it seemed he loved that lady's son as much as she loved him. Seeing the boy's immense love and support, to make herself completely available to care for the family, the woman left her job and devoted herself entirely to caring for her child and the boy. Taking advantage of the woman's love for himself, the guy started asking her to live with him away from people close to her. Now, he neither had a family nor a job. She was utterly dependent on that boy. Taking advantage of this, the boy started torturing her every day. And this was all a plan to take revenge on that girl for the boy's friend's past. He behaved with the woman so carefully that she did not even realize that he was not being loved, but a game was being played with her. This is called dark psychology. And by the time she came to know, she was so lost in the boy's love that now she felt like the option of either staying with him or dying. She started feeling she no longer deserves to live with any other option. The following story is about control. You must have often heard the news that Isaram and some similar Baba, claiming to be the messenger or incarnation of God, raped girls or killed a person in the name of sacrifice. They do this not for any god but for their benefit, and by using dark psychology, they say such things to people that will make their actions look good in the eyes of people. Both these cases are pretty severe, but the lesson is that these crimes were not such that they happened suddenly. These involved careful planning, in which the planner first prepared his victims and lulled them into a false state of trust and security before carrying out the attack. In reality, how these incidents occurred is reminiscent of a hunter and his prey. First, the prey is stalked and monitored. Then, based on the information received during the observation process, the hunter makes a move. This move is not to attack but to attract its prey. For example, an animal is put in a net to trap a lion, which the lion sees and gets trapped. This is how they are made to feel loved and cared for. In this, the hunter wears a mask and shows the qualities the victim likes based on the information he receives. Gradually, trust is established, and the next target is to make the prey dependent on the hunter. Be it financial dependency, emotional dependency, or spiritual dependency, everyone's methods are different, but the intention and result are the same. Gradually, the victim starts becoming dependent and starts feeling the need for that person or the thing that is being given to him. At the same time, in the greed of giving that thing, the hunter separates the victim from his safety net, where he can escape from their prey, and brings him to his desired place, after which he attacks. It will never seem like one of those crimes that you suspect, or even remotely feel that something wrong will happen here. Instead, it will seem like a song and dance, which is fun to participate in, but gradually, this behavior makes the victim insecure, and he gets trapped in the hunter's trap. In this, you will realize only when the loss is happening or has already happened. To understand this entire concept of dark psychology and manipulation in detail, we will understand it through the book Dark Psychology, written by James W. Williams. And remember, you can use this book in different ways, either to avoid taking advantage of yourself or to take advantage of someone else. The choice is yours. Basics about dark psychology: imagine receiving an invitation to a party that your relative organized. Because the party decorations and dinner were excellent, you start mentioning it to your friends. You tell your friend what a great party it was, man. The friend in front replies and says, "Who told you this is a great party? Don't you see how bad your relatives are? They didn't even look at you or try to talk once." You reply, "They may be busy." Then your friend says, "What kind of a relative is T, his brother, who doesn't have even a little time for you?" Your friend highlights this so much that this thought starts coming into your mind: maybe my clothes will not be good, and I am not as rich as these people. Or maybe my relative will be proud of money. For this reason, he might have ignored you. You saw how a person can instigate you against his relatives in practical life. In this way, a person's perception of reality is confused, and a new thing is put into the mind that has nothing to do with reality. In the language of dark psychology, it is called gaslighting. The term gaslighting was derived from a lamp burning from a gas pipeline. In ancient times, a man used this technique to drive his wife crazy. A woman lived alone in a big house, and her husband went to work every night. One night, when his wife wakes up to drink water, she notices that the light in her bedroom has dimmed, which starts happening every night. She tells her husband that maybe someone came to our house last night. He covers the lights and disappears. But instead of understanding her words, the husband confuses her. He said, "There is nothing like that, this is your illusion. And it may also happen that you have lost your mind. Nowadays, you have started making useless stories. At the same time, I have always seen the light burning steadily." The woman became confused and gradually believed that some spirit or thief had come to her house. But he needs proof to prove this. But in the end, it was revealed that her husband used to come every night and secretly dim the lights so that he could confuse the wife and mentally disturb her. Now, the video will explain the difference between dark psychology and psychology. If you understand gaslighting, you will know who uses it and for what purpose. How is this technique used on you? What is the reason behind it? And what should you do to protect yourself? I can say with confidence that if you watch this video completely, you will be saved from living a life of slavery. Finally, I will tell you the names of 2 books with the help of which you can understand dark psychology deeply. We study human behavior, thought, and action in psychology. But dark psychology is used to manipulate, influence, and confuse you. Do you know that we become victims of these techniques daily? Society, politics, commercials, internet ads, managers, 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 selfish friends, and toxic life partners can be used against you. Hence, where reading and understanding this subject becomes necessary. It should not be required that you get your work done by someone and get out to ruin it. Rather, this information should be used for self-defense so that your precious time, money, and life are not wasted. After watching this video, you will understand how the government, family, and organizations control you, so you follow their instructions and live your life according to their principles. Now, the question arises, why do these people do this? They do this so that they continue to benefit. Why do people use dark psychology or gaslighting? So the first reason is to control. Suppose your family gives you a bank account, but your elder brother says that you have kept an ATM nearby, but will you be able to manage the money? You will have to give an account of money every time, and your calculation could be more robust. If some problems arise, then you will have to make rounds of the bank. Due to this, your morale will start going down, and you will start doubting yourself, which will cause you to want to run away from the responsibility given to you. You will feel that, yes, I am not worthy of this work, because I had lost money in the past, so my elder brother is better for this work. Then after this, your control goes to your brother. The second reason is to own self-esteem. Let's assume that a boy comes to the class topper and says, "I don't have any friends in this class. Will you be friends with me?" Then, he slowly takes her notes, disturbing her by sending her movie tickets and diverting her attention from her studies. At the same time, he keeps studying on time. Then, at exam time, he says, "I was passing time, I have no interest in you." Now, the girl has not even studied and is sad about leaving. In such a situation, this boy comes and says, "This time, you will not be able to become a topper." In this way, the girl's self-esteem goes down, and that gaslighter reduces her self-esteem by stopping her from becoming a topper. The third is power dynamic. My friend's relatives learned one thing about him: he was a boy who did not like to study but had been admitted to a college in Delhi. After knowing this, those toxic relatives start saying that because he is a village boy, it will be difficult for him to adjust to that place. If he wanted to study, he could look at his state. There is no need to go so far. This is how relatives bring down the morale of the person in front of them and want to retain control so that they name their son, and you are left behind. That means they use power dynamics. Fourth is emotional manipulation. Many government schemes are run before elections, and parties carry out such activities in their campaigns, making the public feel that this government is making sacrifices for their fellow citizens. For this, the government first needs to get something done that will arouse public anger. Due to this, when a crowd gathers, people get beaten by the police, blood flows due to the beating, and an emotional bond is formed between the politicians and the public by luring them to protect that blood. Then, they use this bonding for 5 years. After this, innocent and unknown people become victims of the corrupt government. Then, no matter how bad the government is, it does not ask them questions. Fifth is a defense mechanism. Let's say that a boss always tells you there is a shortage of jobs, it has to be tough to get jobs. The market situation has become very challenging. No matter how hard one tries, one will not be able to get a better job. The question is, why does your boss say this? Because they want people to stay with them. They want to make you work for a lower salary by creating self-doubt. If any of these 5 things have happened to you too, please let me know by commenting symptoms of dark psychology. After understanding these reasons, how will you know you are the target of gaslighting?